Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday the 13th of September. So a quick look at what news events are coming out today. Let's just do that first and let's just refresh this, what we've got going at the moment. So we went through yesterday's data. We'd had that out by the time the German economic sentiment came out, slightly less worse than possible. So a little kicker there at 10 o'clock for the euro, but it didn't have a great effect. It was a bit of a mix. If you went through the underlying numbers, they were quite mixed. Aside of that, then the GDP came out this morning at minus 0.5 for the UK, for the pound. Now that's been quite recently. It's been surprising. So it's the first negative surprise for a little while. I think actually you've got some figures there. There we go. So it's been popping in some surprising numbers, but obviously for whatever reasons it's dropped down there. Key thing today, and it is very key, is this US inflation later on. Traders will be looking at this quite a bit. So that's at 1:30. So watch out. Okay, let's move on. Look at these markets. Starting off looking at the euro dollar. So yesterday we did see mainly a sell-off, and then in the late evening we saw a bit of a rally. Came in later than normal, but where we are at the moment is it's messy. And as we move towards tomorrow, where we get the ECB meeting, I did say I thought we might see some chop. Then I saw this happening, and I thought, well, perhaps we got some more legs in this. It never got down to my initial target I wanted to adjust the trade on. It rallied there at 9 o'clock in the evening, and then, well, it's coming off a little bit again, but just look at what it's done here. It's just putting the hammer in. We'll see. Not really trusting it too much. The pound on the other hand, well, it too caught a bit of a rally yesterday, but in the afternoon, or evening I should say, but largely it's still looking quite weak there. The obviously the data that's just come out hasn't helped things. Now I won't give any prizes for what you might be able to see down here, but I'm sure those people can see it. Now, what does that mean? Well, it is a 4-hourly bar, so this bar here hasn't quite yet finished. It's a bit of a head and shoulders or a flag, and that's broken to the downside here. Quite ugly when you look at it down onto the hourly picture, not looking quite so pretty, but again, that sort of flag, but it's already broken. It's broken the shoulder as it is at the moment. Maybe it'll just run through from here, but that data certainly hasn't helped it. Does look weak. Might have to wait a little for a secondary setup here, but as I say, could see some further downside. Dollar yen. Well, the yen's not been able to do too much. The dollar is overwhelming it once again. It hasn't yet broken all the way up to fill that, I say broken, but pushed all the way up to fill that gap, but we're on the way. It has had a bounce back to its monthly pivot there, weekly pivot. Just watching this, it could just yet get another one of these little it's just doing another flaggy sort of pattern. It's not I wouldn't class it as an overall flag, but it's sort of there. But if we get a reversal back above that R1, we could get a run up to the R2, in which case we'll all but close the gap around that area. So that's what I'm looking for there on the dollar yen. The Aussie dollar. Now the Aussie dollar, if I can click on the button there, it's been a weird old one here. There we go. Yesterday didn't really do a lot. Ended up almost doji bar. Did move down a tad, but from we're looking at this week so far, it's not looking the prettiest from here. Now it's again a question of whether it can find some support off the weekly pivot here, or whether it's going to break through. If it starts breaking through, well, I'd be looking back towards those lows. Now I haven't rechecked, but I know there's a load of sell orders under there. If it was to come back to that area again, maybe it won't be so well held up, but we'll see. but it's not for second guessing at the moment. It has done this little, on the low time frame, it's done a little double bottom here. If it breaks the high, well, could be back for its daily pivot, but not the clearest in terms of taking a trade on that for me. On the other hand, US dollar CAD, well, the CAD's caught a bounce this morning so far, but we've had these this little downshift, lower highs coming through there. Is it exhausted, or have we got some more upside? It's at the moment switched back a little again, and well, the only thing I would say is that we're probably being a bit like what we saw yesterday. Actually whipped down the early afternoon yesterday, pulled all the way back, but did eventually make it down to its S1. And it's just about having faith in some of these moves, I guess, and it's really what it's going to do this morning, whether it can hang into this this bar here, next bar. If we can start seeing it breaking down, well, there is the potential for a gain for another S1. It's just running into its keeping with its trend. The commodity currencies had done, or had been doing better. New Zealand dollar, well, similar to the Aussie really. Not a lot to say on that. Wouldn't be looking to trade it. US Swissy, it's just come back to the dailies, just so you can see it just still consolidating here. I still believe there's further upside potential in this, but it's probably going to be slow. You can see how slow it's been over the last month or so. It really has been a holding bar pair there. Euro yen yesterday, well, it came up, it did close its gap off yesterday. Just looking at where it is at the moment, it's still sitting around these highs here. Any potential reversal might do some well, but there was the gap yesterday. Eventually I did a little update for those people that are on my Discord and Telegram channels. I just did a little update there, and yep, there it went. I suggested it might fill the gap, and it filled the gap. Anyway, for now then, just at this stage, still got some potential. There's a lot of negativity going around it on it, but look at the trend and what it's been doing. It's been pushing up this way. Soft yen, they've just not done enough to convince people that the yen is a buy, so we're just seeing the euro, everything pushing against it almost. Not an immediate trade, but things may set up. Euro pound, well, just for observation really, it's running in this channel. There's a bit of a channel going on, not the cleanest of channels, a bit bitty in between, bit complex. It might become a short again if it gets back up to the monthly pivot there, but slow and messy. Euro Aussie, I was looking at this yesterday and it had already gone, and well, it's a bit of a picture of the euro full stop in terms of just looking for the best one to play against. Here it's broken and just holding up better, so it's just hanging in around the highs at the moment. Euro CAD, just there we go. Now this is sort of bull flaggy territory where it is. I know I don't like trading against what is a trend here, so I'll just sit on my hands on this one. I really want to be on the short side of it, but we'll see what develops. See the flaggy sort of pattern here now. Break the upside. Well, that could be on for its R1. It's against the trend, so I won't be taking it. Very unlikely to take it. I'm just looking at it. It'd have to have a good reason to get going. We'd need to see the CAD start moving solidly, but this at this stage, well, I'm just watching to see if it continues to roll over if the flag breaks. Okay, that's pretty much it for this morning. There are not a lot of trades there. As I say, there's potential. We'll see what happens on the euro here post 8 o'clock. If it carries on breaking over, well, it could be a roll down. The Aussie's got the potential of roll down. the pound's already gone for now. So we'll see what's happened. So that's the Forex bundle. Let's just quickly look at gold. So gold just well, double bottom in the short term, but overall it's been selling off again. And as I say, there is this little doubly sort of double bottom going on. It hasn't triggered the high of that yet for the move. It could just be about to continue to roll over here. Certainly not a buy on my radar at the moment. Oil, well, oil broke yesterday, broke through those highs it'd been sitting near, pushing up, and well, yeah, it of course went at 1 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock yesterday, but broke out through that, past those highs there. It just couldn't help itself. Went a bit early yesterday, but I'm getting a bit resigned to the fact that it, well, I say resigned to it, but just looking at, and I keep coming back on oil to see where next. And well, we've got the sort of the 92 area is a possibility. Somewhere around that area is a possibility. So I just got to play with the way it's going at the moment, although I wasn't particularly keen on trying to trade further upside, because I think it might just top out at some stage, but it's got to follow the markets here. Okay, US markets, US 500, then the E-minis, S&P E-minis, well, here's 4 hourly. Bit of a sell-off yesterday there. As you can see, sold off somewhat there. Just looking at lower time frames to see if it's given clues. Not really looking soft where it is at the moment. Perhaps we could catch a bounce there, but I still think there's potential for upside before at some stage we get a bigger correction to the downside. But for now, as with I'm on the weeklies here, no wonder I'll come back to S&Ps. It just looked a bit. Thought it was looking better than that. Yeah, still had the downside yesterday. A break of these lows over here, the lows from the 7th September, would suggest further downsides in a lower high it will give us at that point. But for now, say a bit either or, but more looking towards the upside in terms of the big money running still back into the S&Ps on the core analysis. Dow Jones, similar picture. However, look at that. It's nicer for the downside if it does start rolling over here in terms of its move to the underside of its monthly pivot. It looks better. The Nasdaq. I haven't looked at what Apple did last night. I know they had a new product release, I believe, or product meeting yesterday. Haven't looked yet, but well, seeing this down, it probably didn't go massively well. Got another phone. They're going to call it a bigger number. Does what the other phones did. They've probably polished the camera lens or something. Anyway, German DAX still looking soft here. I mean, I will drill down here. It's came off yesterday, and it's just really more of the same. Just looking at the pattern, I mean, it was a sort of flaggy pattern. It ended up there. Could well be continuing to the downside. And finally, the FTSE. FTSE, well, high low kicked in there. It is holding up slightly better than the others. As I said, commodities, oil will be helping this. Number of stocks we got in there involved. It does look more positive at the moment, but patience needed there. But anyway, there we go. Not a great deal there. That's it for me this morning. I'm going to fly. I wish you a great and safe day's trading. I'll catch you tomorrow morning, unless of course you want to listen into my afternoon video that I'm starting putting out there around about the afternoon. Okay, just make sure you're on my Discord or Telegram. Bye for now.